Hi, I'm Ashley Rudd, and today I'm going to be making paleo pumpkin coconut pancakes on our electric griddle. So the ingredients are, I have them over here, but the ingredients are 1 egg, a 1/4 cup of coconut milk, 2 tablespoons of honey, 2 tablespoons coconut oil that's melted, which that stuff was really hard. I was surprised by that. 1 cup almond flour, 2 tablespoons baking powder, 1/4 tablespoon sea salt, 1/4 tablespoon pumpkin pie spice, and 2 tablespoons all-purpose flour. Now, the original recipe calls for pink salt or pink Himalayan salt. I just honestly couldn't afford it. That was $5 for a little container, so I went with the sea salt. And then we were also supposed to get coconut flour, which is really good if you have a gluten allergy, because it's gluten-free. But I went ahead and got the all-purpose flour because no one in my family has any kind of allergies. So those are the only changes I made, and that was basically just because of cost. I was trying to cut down as much as I could. So what we do first, in 1 medium bowl, you need 1 egg. We crack the egg, put the leftover there, and what you want to do is you want to mix it until it's fluffy. You want it to be real light and fluffy. So it takes just a little while. I know it's hard to see. This is about the closest angle I can get. I'm in the house by myself today. So I'm my own filmmaker, which is also a first time for me. So you get that nice and fluffy, and then you're going to add coconut milk, pumpkin, honey, and the coconut oil that is melted. And you're going to whisk that together as well. So that looks pretty fluffy and bubbly to me. And I apologize, my dogs are in the living room, and I apologize beforehand if they start barking. Okay, so we've got that. I'm going to put in the coconut oil. Okay. And we're going to put in the coconut milk, which I never tried before this, and it's actually pretty darn good and healthy for you. Also good if you have a dairy allergy. Then we're going to put in the 2 tablespoons of honey, which they called for organic, but again, because of cost-effective measures, I just got regular honey. I wish I could afford the organic, but I can't right now. So get all that honey in there. And you want your pumpkin, which used a pumpkin shaped container here, measuring cup. Want that added to it. So you put that in there. Keep that out just in case I need it. And then you're going to whisk that together. Well, actually just mix it. The whisk, that's not going to work too well. I try to whisk everything and it doesn't work all the time. So you mix that up really well. You want it to be really well blended. Get it as smooth as possible. It kind of has a strange oily consistency at first because of that coconut oil, but it does blend up really nicely. You just gotta give it some time. And get all those pumpkin lumps out of there. Almost. Plus, it's a really nice color. Like a squash yellow, butternut squash color. Okay. Just about there. Try to scrape it off the sides too. Get as much of that batter as you can. So we're going to put that off to the side. Alright, and then we're going to take this bowl. These are our dry ingredients. These are wet. This is going to be our dry ingredients. So we're going to put in the almond flour. Let's see here. Almond flour. This is a flour / meal, it said on the package. But I actually thought it would give it a really good texture, which it has. So I'm glad I went with that just instead of the regular flour. And then we're also going to put in baking powder, which we have right here in this bowl. Okay. Alright. Then we've got the salt, which is our little bitty container here. 1/4 teaspoon. We're also going to put in 1/4 teaspoon of the pumpkin pie spice, which smells awesome and gives it a really nice flavor. I could have probably gone with a little more cinnamon for me, but we are trying to make it as healthy as possible, but cinnamon's pretty good for you. I might try that next time. And then your all-purpose flour. or your coconut flour if you can afford that and you want to try it. So just take another spoon and you're just going to mix this all together. And then little by little, we're going to incorporate the dry ingredients into the wet ingredients. This looks healthy, but it doesn't actually taste healthy, which is my favorite kind of food. All right. So little by little, we're going to put our dry, let me move all this stuff out of the way. We're going to move our dry mix into our wet mix here. Okay, just trying to get all that mixed up. And before I started, I went ahead and warmed the griddle up. It calls for medium to medium high heat. So I put it on about 350 because I didn't want to go too high and scorch them. So I just put it on 350. All right, let's see here. Next, sorry, I still don't have this memorized. I've only done it a couple of times. Okay, making sure that doesn't get lumpy. All right, and also I put some coconut oil in here. You're supposed to grease the pan. So I did that and I let it melt and it just kind of pools up on there. So we've got it heated. We're getting ready to pour the batter in. You're going to do a 1/3 cup at a time. Okay, so, and I left this out. This is what had the coconut milk in it, but we're going to go ahead and use it. We're just going to add this little by little. I'm just going to stir. And then if it's too dry, you're just going to add a little bit more of your coconut milk. Because you want it to be light and fluffy, but you don't want it to be dry. So I just mix that, and I've got my handy dandy rubber spatula thing. I don't even know what that's called. So I can get it off the sides here when I need to. All right, that's a little too wet, so we're just going to keep adding. That's looking better. That's looking more pancakey. So far, so good. Not too dry. I'm not going to have to add any milk, it doesn't look like. Unless it's going to be too much for it when I add the rest there. Smells really good too. Not real strong, but there's just a little bit of that pumpkin pie spice that I can smell. And this looks like a lot like oatmeal. It's got, I don't know if you can see it very well, but it's got a real nice oatmeal consistency. And it's got that really nice texture. That's what I like about it. I like it when you bite into it. It's got that almond meal kind of has like a crunch to it. All right. So it's ready, and we're gonna use a spatula for this. And we're supposed to put it in a 1/3 cup at a time. So I'm just gonna scrape it off the sides here so we get the most for our money. We're gonna put a 1/3 cup of batter in there. Looks about right, maybe a little over, but that just means we'll have a little bit bigger pancake. All right, so we're just gonna pour that in there. Use the spatula because it likes to stick. That's pretty thick, but it's not too thick, so I didn't have to add any milk. And they're not, I warn you, they're not perfectly shaped. And we're gonna cook that for 5 to 7 minutes. So I'm gonna come over here and set my timer because I am horrible at forgetting. Get my spatula ready. I knew I was forgetting something. You need that for pancakes. Now I'm not an excellent flipper, I can tell you that. So they're a little misshapen when I make pancakes. But they taste really good, and I think that's what matters. I try to make it as round as possible and make it aesthetically pleasing, but I'm more concerned with flavor myself. And I would tip this to show you that it's cooking, but then I'd spill the whole thing on the floor and then my dogs would come running. Alright. It's starting to brown around the edges a little bit, which is what you want. You want it to get a little bit crispy. You can hear it sizzling on there, that's a good sign. So while that is cooking, I'm going to go ahead and get another 1/3 cup of batter ready. So we can rock and roll as soon as that one's done. Actually, I'm going to step off scene again because I need to get a plate. where I thought I was going to put those once they were done. That smells awesome. I don't know why, it kind of has an egg smell to it too. It just really makes you want breakfast. So you let that cook, and then after the timer goes off, then you're going to flip it, and then you're going to cook it for another 3 to 5 minutes, so not as long as on the other side. This is looking super good. Pancakes have always been a struggle for me. I don't know why. I think it's because I'm impatient. I try to flip it too early and then I ruin it. But these, I've been following the directions to a T, and so far so good. Another 4 minutes on that. I'll go ahead and pause it for now, because not much is going on. Okay, our timer is about to go off, and fortunately, my pancake looks just about perfect. It gets kind of crispy and crumbly on the outsides. Mine's a little darker, which I like. I don't know why, I've always liked things just a little bit crispier around the edges. Does get a bit crumbly though, so you gotta be real careful when you're flipping it, and this is the hardest part for me, is flipping the pancake. I'm gonna do it, and there we go. Now mine got a little bit crispy on top, but that's how I like it, but I might time it just a little bit less for the next pancake. So we're gonna do just 3 minutes on this one, because I don't want to overcook it. So I'm gonna set the timer for 3. I'm gonna pause you again, and then we'll come back. All right, well, we got the first one, and I stopped the timer a little bit early because it's starting to look just the way I like. It looks perfect. You can see that real crunchy texture to it. Super good. So we have enough probably we have 4 pancakes here. So I'm gonna do one more here. I'm just gonna plop it in here. I'm gonna see if I can keep it rounder if I do it this way. So we've got another one in there. It's our second pancake. Go ahead and get another 1/3 cup of batter here. Oh, might have gotten too much there. And 4 pancakes is perfect because my husband usually likes 2, and then my stepdaughter and I will eat 1. But nobody's home, so I'll probably be eating all of them. Okay, so I'm gonna let that one cook. Try to make it look more like a circle. I'm gonna pause you again, and then we'll be finishing up. Okay, so I've got the last 2 going, so we'll make a full 4. That's the serving size. But these are looking really good. I put 2 on there together. I made them just a little bit smaller. These turned out great, just how they're supposed to. There's my dog Barney. He wants to be in the video. So I'm going to pause you one last time, and that'll be it. And then I'll show you the end product and what I like to eat them with. Your strawberries. You can't go wrong with strawberries. So I'm going to pause you one more time, and then we'll be done. Okay, so we are finished. Sorry, I washed my hands after Barney decided he wanted to be Rachel Ray and getting this with me. So here is the finished product. This one got a little bit crispy and fell apart. It's always the last one. But these turned out just the way that I like them. Just the right amount of crispiness, right amount of doneness. So I've been eating them with strawberries. They're good on top, so I just sliced up some strawberries. And unfortunately, I know this isn't very paleo, but I do like syrup on top. And as you can see, I've had just a little bit, but not on me. So there you go. That is how you make paleo pumpkin coconut pancakes. And I really love this griddle because when I try to make pancakes on the stove, they're a lot less aesthetically pleasing than these. So thank goodness for the griddle. And that is it. Thank you for watching.